last week?
Yeah, certainly. I don't know whether or not it was complete, but it's an early April game. Our aim is to be consistent over a long period, but I think the steps taken, you've got to take them through from March, then into April, then into May. I don't expect any side, and I don't think anyone's got the capabilities of playing top-level football for the whole year and not be knocked around a bit, both mentally and physically. So our goal is to be cautious, take one step at a time, just make sure that we improve on the previous week until such time as we can have that break, which is, I think, week 7, and then reanalyse where we're at, see what changes have been made to the competition, which they will have done. There's no question that last year's football is different than what it is this year. And then complement our side by other players coming into it. We clearly need more than 22 players, so that'll be our biggest test over the next few weeks to look at Nick Maxwell next week and a couple of the other kids.
What pleased you today more than, say, last week?
Well, I wasn't overly happy in the first half because I thought we mucked around with the ball a bit, but once we started getting our forwards in position, then we had targets, and then on top of that we were able to have good crumbing players, which I thought we lacked a bit last week. So players are working together a bit better, and I thought defensively over the ground I thought we were a bit better than last week. So it's another step. Certainly we can criticise last week and you laugh it off by 75 points and stuff, but the end result is that you've got to be happy with the way you play, and we're better this week than what we were last week, I believe anyway.
When you said you sort of can't expect to sustain top level footy over a year, saying you still think you're sort of well off your best in what you produce today?
This is, I don't think any side that aims for let's go through the first break, which is round 7 in our case, you'd like to think you're better at week 6 than you are at week 2, and you have to be better because you've generally come off different fitness bases. Some sides start in October, we started in November. We were able to have 4 pretty hot games through the NAB Cup series, which probably prepared us as well as anything. You don't have to manufacture anything. And what we have to do is be certain things that took place today. We have to be a little bit better than what we are today for round 6, and then we re-examine and go forward again. This is no headline job. This is not to say, Collingwood have got a lot of improvement. It just simply means that the competition will improve, and we've got to improve along with it. There's no question. Football played in June is going to be better than football played in April because you're getting more used to it, you're getting more used to the structures, you're getting more used to probably the interchange rule, you're getting more used to where your players are, and some kids will mature and come up and so forth. So our aim is to examine every week and not be satisfied with it, just keep working forward.
When you talk about adjusting to the interchange rule and the where the fitness and so on, you finished off each quarter really strongly today. What's the pleasing aspect of that?
Well, I couldn't answer that. I suppose we did we? I'm not too sure what the scoreline was for each in overtime, but
Did you go against any time on in every quarter?
and time on event, yeah. Well, that's pleasing, but it's not something that I really overly notice, quite frankly. I'd like to think that we have it structurally right. That's the most important thing, and if goals come their way, it's a bonus.
You mentioned the game's changed again. You think it's sort of suiting your side, and in fact you've got 2 real power forwards? The emphasis on long kicking seems to have come back a bit.
Oh, there's definitely. I haven't got evidence of any of the stats at this stage, but there's clear evidence in my mind watching games that there are. Now I'll use this I'll be right out, but I'm going to hazard a guess and say that last year it may well have been 75-25, 75% short, so 75% short. That's right, and 25% long. Now, I'm not about to get too caught up in this because I'm probably going to be totally wrong, but our long kicks today, 65 to short kicks, 108. So let's make up a figure and say it's 40% now. And that's a clear indication to me that sides are defending better against a squeeze by getting the ball away from the hot zone as quick as they possibly can. So the length of the kick, there's no question in my mind last night, Richmond got back in the game because of their area of where they put the ball and put the Saints under massive pressure at the fall of the ball. So that is a change, just watching that game and watching our game again today. We've always been a reasonably long kicking side, but the indicators from the first round are that there's a lot more kicks and probably longer kicks than hand passes.
Cracker came on and made a big impact as a substitute. Do you think he's sort of that sort of player which will be good and that sort of quick midfielder who can go forward to be a substitute? Or?
That's the type of player. He won't be that next week because, well, he's not a young player, but he's a player that's been out of the system for 3 or 4 years, maybe even longer. I'm not too sure how long he's been out of the system, quite frankly. But hasn't enjoyed pre-seasons like some of these other players. So when you bring a player in, he plays his first round at his age, and we've got a 6-day break before the next game. It made pretty much logic sense to us anyway that he's the player we preserve this week. With the 6-day break, he's now got the chance to play a 4-quarter game next week, and we'll do that right throughout the year. We'll weigh up what's in front of us. We'll weigh up what's the past, and we'll just see how the games go. He could have played the first minute. If someone gets knocked over, he's back in. But we're not going to take someone in there who can't get through games. Your subs, that's the first and foremost thing. Your sub's got to be a player that can actually get through 4 quarters if needed.
How did you come to deciding that Heath was the one to be subbed off?
Heath was a bit sore from last week, and there was no one put their hand up. I'll give you the tip. So he became the logical one for us.
And Simon Buckley, I guess we've mainly seen him as a midfielder over the journey, but what do you make of his performance sort of deep in defence?
Well, I guess it's in raw numbers. His opponent had 5 shots on goal or 4 shots on goal, so he could have kicked a bit straighter. A very good opponent in Lindsay Thomas, but I think Simon's just starting to come to grips with his own confidence. I don't think he had a lot of confidence at all when he came to the football club. Even over this pre-season, I don't think he really thought he belonged. And he'd be probably the first to say, do I belong? Nick Maxwell comes to the side next week. Do I get a game? That'd be the questions going around in his head. So, on evidence of that, he one of the things he does, he's got size and weight, or height and weight, thump and kick, very quick, and he's a man desperate. There's a lot of ingredients here that make up a footballer that wants to stay in the side, and that's good for us.
What about Chris Dawes? He must be pleased with his development and improvement in the past 12 months.
It's been a steady incline. I watched him play in the under-18s many years ago. It was down at Shell Stadium, and Victoria were playing one of the under-18 sides, and he and Hawkins played in that game, and I just thought that he protected Hawkins' space a fair bit, and then he did his knee, of course, and was sort of tossed about that would he come back. But on evidence of that game, he's a player that can take a lot of ground and protect areas, and I just think that his kicking is developed. I know this might be a rough gauge, but he's a 15-metre longer kick today than what he was, say, 2 years ago. So it's taking 24 months to get there, but far more accurate, far more reliable, and far more depth. So that just comes with a lot of age sometimes, and also